Earthquakes increased exponentially until the entire Mars began to shake with magnitude 10 Marsquakes. Magma plume under the Tharsis Plateau continued to uplift the area until at some point the magma met groundwater in the interior. At that point, the uplift burst with a catastrophic roar. This formed the Mariner Valley into which the cold waters of the Northern Ocean rushed. At that moment, in the central part of the Tharsis Plateau, where the labyrinth of Night Plateau is now located, there was a catastrophic rupture of the plume, and the cold water in the Mariner Valley instantly exploded, breaking through the atmosphere of Mars with a column of steam. This was a hydraulic impact with the force of millions of nuclear bombs. The shockwave from this explosion tangentially traveled inside the planet, expanding the magma in all directions. The impact caused the inner core to bounce back and stop, and the magnetic field of Mars disappeared in an instant. The moon of Mars most likely flew off into the sun. Water from the Mariner Valley rushed back into the ocean, forming catastrophic outflow channels. Mars exploded from eruptions, its atmosphere started burning and flared from electromagnetic discharges. Mars was burning, and our distant ancestors saw it. The blazing planet began to be covered with a red oxide film. At this very moment, literally in a couple of minutes, the torn atmosphere of Mars rolled up like a scroll. And since its integrity was violated, it broke off the blazing planet along with the ocean. The torn atmosphere and ocean of Mars instantly froze in the cold of outer space and turned into comets with a precisely defined momentum of movement in the solar system. Once every few decades, these comets return to their original home. Comets fly past Mars. So, it was due to the hydraulic impact that Mars lost its magnetic field, moon, atmosphere, ocean, and life in just a few minutes. This happened 24,000 years ago. Volcanoes continued to erupt on the planet for several more decades until they exhausted the energy impulse from the interior set by the cycle of cataclysms. The lava from the eruptions solidified after the magnetic field has disappeared, so the rocks did not retain their magnetization. The carbon dioxide released during these eruptions became the new atmosphere of Mars, sparse and cold. Water-saturated sediments froze in the ground. The only inhabitants of Mars that might have survived were molds and bacteria. Mars took on the appearance that we are used to seeing. Over the past 24,000 years, a number of meteorites have fallen on Mars, including ones from the asteroid belt at the location of the planet Phaeton. However, 12,000 years ago, during the previous cycle of cataclysms, the distorted interior of Mars received a new impulse of energy, and the volcanoes began to erupt again, while the floor of the former ocean heated up and melted. It was these processes that caused the craters on the northern plains to take on the appearance of ancient formations, causing scientists to push back the date of Mars's death to an uncertain 3.5 billion years. Why have thousands of scientists been misled and deceived about the true dates of Mars's death? Why has NASA been searching for life on Mars for 50 years and not finding any obvious facts in their own images? We don't believe that only fools work at NASA, but we are certain that they're not telling us the truth. And here is the answer to the question why they are doing this. Those who bought the opinions of scientists are well aware of the cataclysms that happened during the cycle, but they believe people do not need to know this because they hope that things on Earth will not be so bad and they will be able to wait it out in a bunker, but not this time. Nobody survived in a bunker on Mars. Here it is, Mars, dead and cold, evidence and the most vivid example of hydraulic impact, a rare phenomenon on living planets. Mars is a dead monument to a hydraulic impact, a terrible tragedy, and at the same time, this is our chance to understand the reality of the death of planets, the reality of seeing the same scenario on our planet. Now on Earth, we have also entered a cycle of cataclysmic events similar to the one during which Mars died. The date of the repetition of the events of Mars and our planet on Earth is already known. It is the year 2036. The location of the hydraulic impact is identified. It is the Mariana Trench. Isn't it ironic that on Mars it happened in the valley called Mariner? Do you have enough facts now to understand that it's not a joke? If we continue to do nothing, in 2036 the ocean, atmosphere, and all life on our planet will disappear. But we and our children will be gone even sooner. We simply will not survive the increased power and number of cataclysms. And now it is up to each of you to decide whether these events will happen or not. People of Earth, I appeal to you. We deserve to leave. We must not allow this scenario to happen again. Yes, Mars died, but its terrible example is a warning for us to never allow such a thing to happen on our planet. We can't prevent this catastrophe. The creative format of society opens up for humanity the access to a level of technologies that we cannot even imagine right now. Combining the potential of scientists will allow us to make a discovery about the impact that gives additional energy to the course of the planets. This will take our science to a completely new level of development. We will be able to stop the energy coming to our core and even use this energy for our benefit. We will be able to control volcanic eruptions and prevent hydraulic impact in the Mariana Trench. But we can do that only together. We need each and every one of you to tell the truth about the threat of Earth's death, just as it happened on Mars. To tell all of humanity that there is a way out, and it is the creative society. We need each and every one of you. Let's not miss our chance to build the creative society. Let's choose life.